Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Designers. This morning, I'm talking to Lorraine and Cedric.
I'm Rain. I'm a UX designer. I just recently joined Home Credit Philippines. I used to work at Cambridge University Press and On Up Group.
On a group. And you are?
Hi, I'm Cedric. I'm the current UX lead for Cambridge University.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that later. UX lead. When did you become UX lead?
Just a week ago.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Really fresh.
Very fresh. UX lead.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about that later. Let's talk about how you guys. So, what made you decide to start in design? What was your inspiration?
Okay. So I started doing design back even when I was just little. So I was drawing. I started to draw anime stuff.
So you anime?
Yeah. Yeah, like.
And I think a lot of designers are like that. They start off with anime.
Yeah, I started drawing like Ghost Fighters and
That's fighter.
even Dragon Ball. So really, that's how I started design and then I took after college I took a web design course in First Academy of Computer Arts. So that's the only school that I know of who offers web design course back in the day. So yeah, but they are still active and they're still offering other courses, even 3D. Yeah.
What was your background?
Well, my background was in multimedia arts. So I took it as my undergrad. Then I focused on graphic design and illustration. Then eventually I transitioned to UI in my first job here in Cambridge. Then transitioned to UX. Then up to now.
So what was your trigger for going into design?
Well, my closest memory was actually customizing my Friendster account. So I think I was doing web design already because I was doing HTML back then, basic HTML of customizing my Friendster account. If I remember, it's I used templates or codes from Marty Trigger something. I forgot.
I wonder if people still remember.
Yeah. So
Do you
that's my
remember
first encounter.
Friendster?
Yeah, that's my first encounter of design. So I was customizing my Friendster actually. So yep.
Nice. And then, what were your first impressions going to the world of design? What did you discover going into this world?
Initially, I really loved it. I liked it. Doing customizing the front end development and also the UI interface of our websites. And I started doing UX na bala back in the days. Kasi,
It's already you actually didn't know.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I didn't know about the term UX,
yeah.
but
Actually, a lot of people
then we
didn't know. I
are,
think it
yeah,
was already called.
we started asking about why are you designing it this way? Why are you making those changes? Is this really what the users want?
Yes,
So
yes.
those questions. Yeah.
What was your first impression going
First
to
impression was that it's too broad. I don't know where to start because I have no idea of what UX actually. So back in college, all I know was GUI. Actually, it's not even UI.
graphic user interface,
Yes. So I have no idea of UX. I don't know that it could mean a lot or it could give a lot of impact. So those things are.
And how
were
did you
my impression.
adjust into that field?
Well, I adjusted in a way that I asked many questions actually, and I tried to ask questions that are, not the usual. Being curious, having that beginner's mindset. So mentors actually helped me a lot. For example, Rain, you, and other people from the UX community. So those things helped me a lot.
The UX community.
Yes.
EXPH.
You have a conference.
Yes.
How did you adjust? What's your first impression? How did you adjust to the world of design?
Yeah, like mentors really played a major role in my career. Shout out to Nick, to 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 Nick, to Sir Marvin, and other mentors in the UX community. So I think I learned a lot from them. They challenged me. They made me cry. They really of course for a good reason. For a good reason.
So, what did it make you do? Example, ano?
Made me cry.
How did it make you cry?
There were instances where I probably make decisions that are not right.
Okay.
And
you designed something, and then you came out with it, and then and they critique you, cried.
Yes. more of like it's challenging me to make the right decision and to also do the right thing. And yeah, I guess it's really good na I encounter those challenges.
Ikaw, you consider, you work together, right?
Yeah.
Before, yes.
She was my former lead, so I haven't cried yet.
I did.
I thought you cried.
Yeah, but I really learned a lot from my experience with the leadership of Rain, because I started as a newbie actually, and right now I didn't expect that I'll come this far. So those things.
Yeah. So how did you adjust when going to design? What were the things that you discovered?
Things that I discovered when it comes to UX and design is that it's not about me actually. It's not about me. It's about the people that we are giving the service or the design. So my decisions actually have greater impact to other people. So I become self-aware with my design decisions and think always that it's not about us, it's not about designers, developers, or product managers, but actually it's the people.
So,
it's the biggest area.
So what are your biggest adjustments coming from starting off in design, and
Right.
what are your biggest adjustments and what are your biggest learnings? Great.
For me, I was not active in the community in any design conferences before. But now I'm volunteer.
Yes, you're a core volunteer.
Yes.
Another core volunteer
of UXPH. It's hard. It's hard in a sense that you're doing this for. I volunteered because I want to give back to the community, because the UX community has taught me so much. So I wanted to give back and also.
Paid forward.
Paid forward, yeah. And also experience it firsthand, because it's easy to criticize conferences. It's easy to say na this is UXPH, how come na you're not designing it like this or like that. But when you are part of the core team, you don't know the story, the real picture of how what it takes to conduct a conference like that. So shout out to all volunteers.
To all the
Good
volunteers.
job.
Good job, volunteers. I find it funny. I always tell the story of I hate it when people say it's just a website, because it's never just a website.
Yeah.
There are a whole lot of things behind it that make it more than just a website.
Yeah.
So yeah, ikaw, what's your biggest learning and biggest adjustment so far?
Biggest adjustment was that for a long time, because I have graphic design and illustration background, I was entirely designing for myself and for my client, for example. So my biggest adjustment was that since I'm already in the UX field, biggest adjustment was to validate my designs, make sure that these designs work for my actual user. So it's really a big adjustment because I wasn't aware of that. I was more of a defensive with my designs before.
I think that's a common trait.
Yes.
For a lot
So
of designers.
yes. So I get really mad sometimes that someone would criticize my design, but then when I got into UX, I started to let go of that ego, for example, because they're not criticizing me, but the design itself. So those adjustments really hold me to be self-aware as a
What do you think
designer.
about that?
That's I think most designers have to go through that experience. Na you have to separate yourself from your work and also be more open to criticisms actually to parang get feedback right away in order for you to improve, in order for your design to provide
Don't
more
the-
value to the
But
customer.
don't the stakeholders or business owners say, "Oh, just follow me"? How do you respond to that?
You have to first you need to educate them. You need to align to what their goals are and then come up with proposals for them. to
What if
also-
they don't believe you?
What if they don't believe you?
And how have you adjusted so far?
You need to try to understand their perspective. What's making what made them not listen, or because there's a story behind those decisions, and you need to know why. And once you are able to define those blockers, then you will be able to come up with the better offerings to the clients or to the shareholders.
Are you experiencing the same thing?
Yeah, I experienced that a lot with
How do you
with my
respond?
job. I respond in a way that I make sure that I know what they're talking about. Since we do have different backgrounds, it's important for me to understand where they're coming from. Like for example, if they are from the business, then I have to learn about the business aspect and expand on that so that I could use that as my justification. So the good thing with me, I mean, I was fortunate because I have a debate background in college.
Okay.
So I was team captain or president of the debate team. So I use those critical thinking skills in crafting design decisions and making sure that I get the buy-in. So it's not all the time that they will go against you.
Yeah.
What matters is that you establish common ground, respect, and understand where they are coming from. You know, empathize.
Yeah.
Empathize.
Any regrets, or what's the cost? At what cost?
For me, my regret is not taking risk, staying safe, and also not making decisions right away. So those are
So you
those
would
are the
have
things na
wanted to take more risks,
more risk,
learn faster.
learn faster. Also design your career life in such a way na you're able to address the weaknesses, acknowledge those, and then do things differently. Parang ganun.
Not getting enough rest because I have to stay late to study
the cost.
and prepare for my presentation the other day. Be prepared on what they might ask. So those things are the cost, and of course I signed up to it. So right now, that's why right now I'm challenging myself to get more healthy, because a lot of my work today requires brain power or thinking. So
It's funny now. You
Yeah.
have to exercise to
Yes.
also keep your mind healthy.
yes, so my decisions will impact real people. So I have to be worried about that. So I
How
have
does that feel when
I have
when
to-
you're at the back of your mind, all of your decisions affect real people?
Yes. So sometimes it's scary. Sometimes I know that not all my decisions will become popular. Sometimes I have to take risks, just like what Rain is trying to say. So I have to, get more rest, eat, and sleep well.
What is the most intense moment in this work or in this line of field that have you ever encountered? For instance, for me, one of the I was surprised.
Yeah.
I posted about it online that I was teary-eyed, surprisingly teary-eyed
yeah.
over. This is how the interviewers were acting, and it was really really sad. And then and that made me aware of the amount of impact that
Yes.
so parang at that moment I was surprised, oh, intense emotion.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Pero it makes you realize that the little things you're doing really matter to someone somewhere. So you just hope na it's enough, diba, to
Yeah.
move the needle and make a difference in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Have you felt that?
Yeah, actually, I have a similar experience when I'm doing a usability test.
Oh.
So I was observing this person holding the prototype in a mobile. So I was asking how the app would benefit him. So I realized. So he narrated how he narrated emotionally
Wow.
how it will help him in a way that will change his behavior, his outlook. So with that, I share the similar observation that, oh really, my design will really impact users. So I have to do well to make sure that they will get what they deserve. And I think it's really worthy to share that experience to other stakeholders
Yeah.
so that they would understand that design is for people and not actually for a certain few. So, yeah.
Ikaw, any emotional
More of I saw firsthand how they were frustrated with the application. How they were
How
even
did that feel?
and then they didn't intentionally want to say bad word, but it came out, and it was like, okay, we really have to fix this. We really need to make this better and make them happy instead.
And
Those
then
users.
you're one of the few people who are in the Philippines, Nielsen-Norman Nielsen. I saw the list
Yes.
of and you're
Yes.
Norman
So that's one of the
certified.
risks that I took. So that's one of the risks. It was I paid for it
Yeah,
because
you-
I think
You took a big risk. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
expensive.
yeah, it was expensive, but it's all worth it for me. I guess
Why did you take that risk? What was your trick? What made you jump?
I always need to push myself further. So I know that it's expensive. That's why I need to do it. Like I need to not just learn it, but I also need to follow up with implementing those learnings. That's why I took that. Because there's no going back. Parang you spent already. You have to learn it. You have to do it. So
Nice.
yeah. So I guess for me also, like Cambridge University Press has been generous of
Yeah, you were both in Cambridge University.
sending me to different conferences. It was all paid by. It was the only conference that I paid for myself. And I guess it's also nice na you are investing in yourself.
Nice.
And I guess mas committed ka. You're more committed when you paid for the conference rather than the company paying
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
But it's nice na I hope that many companies would sponsor more of their employees to these conferences.
Learn
'Cause-
more.
Yes, and also for the employees to give back that value to the company.
So let's talk about where you guys are right now. You have already found some new place to work.
Yes. Yep.
You are now lead of Cambridge University
Yes.
design team. Tell us about how has it been like so far, the change, and what are you looking forward to?
Well, for me, it's really a big change because from a UX designer who is an individual contributor, I'm now managing people. So the big change with that was that you're not anymore bound by the dynamics of how you want your designs to be presented, but rather managing real people actually. So my focus right now is to make sure that the team is well. So I have to lift them up, inspire them to do better, and find their purpose
it's a new set of skills, huh?
Yeah, a new set of
from
skills,
being
actually.
an individual contributor, you
Yes.
are now the person who manages your resources as a team.
Yes.
Who will do what, and then
Yeah.
pag may umabsent, how do you look
Yes.
for that? Yeah.
So right now, I'm reading a lot of articles again. How I'll be able to strategize on that. There's this strategic aspect. There's also the tactical aspect. So
Strategic kasi you anticipate the resource needs of the company.
Yes.
And then tactically, who do you deploy where, and then
Yeah.
how do you train them to be
Yes.
able to,
Yep.
ano yung need.
Right. So what's exciting right now is that I'm in the position to craft on how UX and even CX would evolve in our organization, because I'm one of the people who they are looking at in terms of contributing to that. So aside from managing people, I also determine how it will go from 2 to 5 years from now. So that's really challenging. And of course, the power dynamics is always there. So I have to manage different people with different perspectives. So yep.
So, ikaw naman, you are now with Home Credit.
Yes,
How's that journey like? What are you looking forward to the future? And you are also now a core volunteer of UX Philippines.
Yes.
How's that like? So tell me about.
Sige, so I started at Home Credit last July lang, end of July. Yeah, we're hiring, so
Yes, they're hiring. They have openings.
So-
what are you looking for now?
we're looking for a UX researcher and also I think 2 more UI UX designers. So yeah, so I think for us at Home Credit, my lead is Bogs Labayan. So for us, it's really a challenge of I think establishing the UX process. But we've already done like we do research, we do usability tests, we do the whole UX process. It's more of like establishing it further, I think, and also probably doing it more parang hindi na siya more of guerrilla type, but more of
So more consistent, more
more
formal,
formal, yeah. And then
embedded in the process
yes,
itself.
yes. So I think that's where we want to go.
How's the challenge? How's it been like?
It's actually good to work with them, to work with the BA, to work with the product owner, and it's really more of the commute that's challenging me.
So,
Yeah.
but you overcome that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
Find a place to
yeah,
stay maybe.
yeah.
So, oh, you're all the way from Quezon City, going to
Yeah, so right now I'm staying in Circuit Makati.
Circuit Makati, so
And
a bit
then
closer.
go to
It's still tough.
Yeah, it's still
traffic.
tough even though it's close na, pero parang ang tagal pa rin ng biyahe. So but I'll be staying in so at Home Credit we have 3 offices. So we have in Vertis North, we have in Cubao, and we have in BGC. So I'll be staying more in Vertis North since that's where our call centers are. Parang
And you can work, jump different offices.
yes, yeah.
That's nice.
So
And
that's
you're also now core member of you're in charge of the speakers.
yes. So
So if you're
speakers.
still looking for, but you're already full, huh? You have a speaker
we are still looking for speakers for Manila leg.
The Manila leg.
So if you want
you
to
wanna be a speaker
for our,
you've got to have the cred though. You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta pass Lorraine. You gotta pass her standards.
not just me but also Aldrich and Jordan and you. But we're open to any speakers about UX for the Manila leg.
So any last words of wisdom to the people who are transitioning, who might go through the same path that you take towards becoming designers, design leaders? Any words of wisdom?
I guess for me, you need to know yourself, know your weaknesses and your strengths, and then, so of course, for your weaknesses, you need to challenge yourself. You need to overcome those weaknesses. And if you are a lone designer, join a community, join UXBH, join the conferences, be more active, proactive, and you learn a lot from those. And then you can attend other conferences outside abroad so that you're more parang prepared to parang more advanced knowledge. And then next would be read books, read a lot of books, experience other things, not just parang read books about UX, but also travel, evaluate how you're using other mobile devices or the VR experience or whatever. So explore more of those products.
Nice. Ikaw?
Yeah.
Any words of wisdom?
Yes. 3 things. First, have that beginner's mindset or learner's mindset because it will help you move forward really a lot. Because for me, right now, I was honest when I don't know the answer. I was honest if I think their decision will negatively impact certain things. And they respect that. So having that beginner's mindset or learner's mindset will help you be curious and ask more questions rather than think that you know everything already, which leads me to my second advice. Ego is your enemy. So let go of your ego. I know that deep inside we have that ego within us, but we can mitigate that and we can manage that. And one way to do that is to separate yourself again from your work, just like what Rain said, and that design is not about you actually, but rather for people that will benefit from the design. And of course, lastly, surround yourself with good people. If you are a beginner, and not necessarily beginner, but even if you are a leader, actually, surround yourself with good people because these people will really influence you to do better. So you design your environment, you design the people you company with. So I think that's you can start with those advices actually.
It's nice. Actually, even if from where I am in a conglomerate, they have a notion that try to hire someone better than you, always find someone better than you kasi it will challenge you.
Yes.
So with that, thank you, Rain, and thank you, Cedric, for
Thank you.
joining me
Thank you
here
for
in,
having us.
our conversations with designers. Let's see what we'll have another session with you guys,
Right.
and then maybe let's do a user testing session.
Yeah,
Sure.
sige, we'll do that.
So wait for us, and watch out for our next episode. We'll have both of them look at some websites and review
Yeah,
which is
sure.
better design.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.